Dear student, we are going to discuss today about that nested if-else concept. Okay, this is for class 7 and we are discussing for C++. That means class 7 C++ and the topic is nested if-else statement. Okay. So we understand at first what is that concept of nested if-else statement. So if-else statement, we are knowing that when if we are using here, that condition is that we are putting so condition, and when condition is true, then it executes that statement whatever written inside this if. So else, that means when condition will be false, in that situation this will start to execute that another type of statement and another type of operation. This is statement 2. This is if else. But when we are talking about the nested if else, what do you mean about that nested in English? In English language, what do you mean about the nested? Nested means one inside another one. One inside another, that means one if will be also here, and here is that condition. Okay. So this is another condition, condition 1, and inside this body you will put these all things, and then else will be here, and inside this else we will do another operation. That means when any if else statement we are using inside if or inside else also. That means when we are using if else statements inside if or else, that is known as nested if else. Why we will use this type of conditions and instead of this form? We understand this one first. It means it's clear that when condition will be true, when first condition will be, condition 1 will be true, in that situation we need to check again. So check condition 2 is also okay, true. Then you do that operation, then you perform the operation. That means we are going to perform any operation in the basis of that two conditions. If one condition is true, then check also another condition is true, then do some operation. Otherwise, first condition is true but second condition is false, then we do another operation. And one more thing, this we have done only one time, no? So one in if else inside another if else. But in a computer you can do nesting of this form in any level. That means one inside another, another inside another. Like this we can put 3 or 4 inside, we can do. But it depends on our logic that we are going to do. If we have some program, some problem, then we can do. There is no problem in a computer. There is a problem for implementation by the programmer, by the user who is writing the program. Most important thing that with the example we will understand what is the purpose of the nested if else and in which situation, how we will understand that here we need to use nested if else or here we need to use simple if else. Clear? So last time we have discussed if else. So how can we understand according to situation? So nested if else is needed here, so that we are going to discuss with that example. My dear, now suppose that we are going to check for example 1. That question is that you have to check that one number is 2 digit. Number is 2 digit number. Okay. And then if it is 2 digit number, then we have to check that it is if, or you can say it is even. Okay. So 2 digit number, first is that we have to check that that number is 2 digit number. Then we have to check that it is even. If that is 2 digit number, it is even also. Then sum of digits. Sum of digits. That we have to find. We have to find it. So find sum of digit. Okay. 2 digit number but not even, it is odd. It is odd. That condition is that it is not even, it is odd. In that situation, find product of that. Product of digits. Product of digits. That you understand what I am saying to do that. So according to the situation, first we have to check that number is 2-digit number. If two-digit number, then we have to check that is even. That means two conditions are there. So one condition is true, okay, two-digit number, even, okay, that is even. Then find the sum of digits. If not even, that means otherwise, then go to check that. Otherwise means even, not, then odd. So then else part is there and we have to find out product of digit. But if this is a false, in that situation, message that, what message you will give? That number is other than two digit. Number is other than two digit. Okay. That means you have to display here the message number is not a two-digit number or other than two-digit number. So now you understood that question, conditions, that how to implement this one. So here is that number is of two-digit, we have to check. If number is even, then we have to perform some operation. If odd, then we have to perform another operation. And if this is false, then in else part, you have to display that is other than two-digit number. That means if one condition, inside that another condition we are checking, or otherwise situation also we are implementing. That means if else, we are using inside that another if else. Now we understand the question, we write the question and after that solution also. Okay. We go for the question. Question is that, question number 1. Question number 1. We have to input any two-digit number and check its validity. Check its validity. Then find out sum of digits. Sum of digits. If number is even, if number is even. Otherwise, find out product of digits. Otherwise, find out product of digits. Otherwise means find a product of digits means number is odd. So number is not even, then otherwise find out product of digits. That means number is odd. It's a clear in that, not written, but it's a clear. Okay. Now we start to write that how to write the program, that you are knowing that we are writing here hash include IO stream.h. Yes or no? That I have discussed it is clearly that previously. Next, hash include conio.h. Then what we will write? Void main. Then what do we need here? One number to take input. Okay, int n. And later after that, if that number is even, that we need to find the sum of digits. That digit 1 and digit 2, then two digit will be there. So digit 1, digit 2 and sum of digits, so S, and product of digit P. So possibilities of that one, that maximum, these are variables we need. Okay. Now clear the screen, CLR, SCR. Now we flash here the message that for taking input, that cout enter any two-digit number. So I have given here the message, but after message also, if user giving that other than two-digit, then we have to check the condition, because question also saying that check its validity. Then we take here that number seen, and now we have to check that is two-digit number or not. So first, if we will write here n is greater than is equal to 10, two-digit number we are checking, n is greater than is equal to 10 and n is less than is equal to 99. That means this is possibility of the two-digit. So number must between 10 to 99 including both. So now here we have to check that both digit number is a 2-digit number, that's a clear. That means now here we need to find out digits. So if 2-digit number is that clear, that we can flash here the message also, n is 2-digit number, then digit we can also find out and calculate that. Now we can do here digit 1 is equal to n mod 10, last digit will be that, digit 2 is equal to n slash 10. If any doubt in these two statements, that you understand one example, that n we have taken suppose 58. Okay, so 58 between these two conditions true, that means 2-digit number. Okay, now digit 1 n mod 10, n mod 10 means n mod 10, it will give remainder. So when you will divide 58 by 10, so remainder will be 8, this will give remainder, so 8 will be that answer. So d1 will get, d1 will be 8. And if you have to go for quotient, that is this section, so when you will divide, that 5 will be there and slash will give quotient, so that we are going to assign into d2, so d2 will have 5. So that means these two conditions extracted, two numbers digits extraction done. Now we have to check here that if n mod 2 is equal to 0, that means number is even, so if number is even, then we have to find the sum of digits. So you have to display here the sum of digits. Directly you can write also Cout sum of digits is equal to, and directly you can put here also d1 plus d2. Okay, so directly now that one else part will be of this. Now we write by separating that, so that you can understand easily, otherwise I need to erase, so that will not be good. So now you understand by this way. Here we write that else means this one, this one. So in else you will write Cout product of digits, is equal to, so you print here product d1 into d2. Okay, after that this condition you are going to close here the bracket, then you put here the else, and inside else what message you will get, that number is not of 2-digit number. So directly you put here number or n is not a 2-digit number, Okay, so now lastly get ch and close this, completed. Okay, so you see here that one if is here, and inside this another if and else is using, so that means one if else using inside another if else. So based of that, one thing is there, first condition for 2-digit number, second condition for even number, yes or no? So that means we are going to discuss this way, that when one condition is based on even, we will check, but why and when? We will check even because that is given in question, but when we will check, when number is 2-digit number, valid of that. So another example we can move. Okay, if any doubt you can comment and you can ask. Okay, at first we understand another example based on that palindrome number. So one number is 3-digit number, at first we have to check that is 3-digit number. Okay, if 3-digit number, then we have to check it is palindrome, number. What is that question? Question is that you have to check that number is 3-digit, then you have to check palindrome number. Okay, so what is palindrome number we understand first. So any 3-digit number we check, that's 785. Reverse of this, reverse number, what will be that? That you see 785, reverse will be that 587. So when you are going to reverse of this number, that you will get 587, but your number is at 785. So these both numbers are not equal, So if equal, then palindrome. That means we can understand by another example, that suppose n is given here, that 383, and its reverse will be that, you see 383. Yes or no? So both are equal. Both equal. That means number and reverse of the number, if both are same, that means that type of number will be known as palindrome number. And here the 3-digit number, but maybe palindrome number of 2-digit, maybe palindrome number of 5-digit. So 4-digit palindrome number we write. So 3223. Reverse of this will be same. Another example that we write, 56765. That you see reverse of this will be the same. That means any number, reverse of that number equals to the number, that means that is palindrome number. But question is that number you have to check the 3-digit number at first. 3-digit must be there, and 3-digit number after checking this one we are going to check that is palindrome or not. How we can check that palindrome number? This is most important. That we understand? Okay. But if we understand at first the concept, then we will go to write the program. First, how to find the reverse, how to find the reverse, that we understand. Okay. Then we will discuss about that program. Now, validity of the 3-digit number, how can you check? Yes. 3-digit validity means number and will be greater than or equal to 100. Smallest value of the 3-digit, and number will be less than or equal to largest value of 3-digit. So here, if number is between this, that means the smallest value of 3-digit 100, number is greater than that 100 or equals to that, number is less than or equals to 999. That means this is 3-digit number. Now inside this we have to check that all the works. That means inside this body we have to check here that for palindrome. And for palindrome we need to find the reverse. And one more thing, that without finding the reverse, that if any number is that 385. So here that this is digit 1 and this is digit 2. That we are knowing. So first digit and last digit. Here is that first digit DF we write, digit first, and digit last DL we write. Okay. So how can we find the digit first? So that we understand. First digit, that means this one. When you will divide any number by 10, you will get the last digit. That means, and mod 10 will give you, that is 8. Yes or no? That is DF, digit first. And when you divide this 3-digit number, and when you will divide by 100 as a quotient, you will get that 3. Because 100 you are dividing by 100, so then it will give that 3, and that is DL, digit last. Like this you can find both the digit. That means here whatever we have written, that's clearly we can write digit first is equal to, so n mod 10, and digit last is equal to n/10. After that, these two digits, if equal to each other, that means reverse will be the same. Yes or no? You see here that if any palindrome number is there, that palindrome number will have of 3 digit, first and last digit equal to each other. Then it is also only palindrome in that situation. So any palindrome number, 757, any 838, any 474, any 929, that you see these all reverse will be the same. In that situation, first and last digit is same. In 3-digit only situation, that means in a 4-digit number it will be different. So but we are going to discuss about the 3-digit. That's why I am giving you easiest way that how to find that 3-digit palindrome number. So digit first and digit last you have to check only, both are equal. That means that is palindrome number. Yes or no? That means it's a clear. Now if you write here, after calculating digit, if digit first and equals to digit last, that means palindrome. That means palindrome. Otherwise it is not palindrome. Yes or no? Okay. So we understand with the question. We understand the question. We write the question, and after that we write the program. Question is that, so question number 2. Question number 2. WAP 2. input 3-digit number and check it is palindrome number or not. Clear? So here that a question is not giving here that use validity of 3-digit, but you have to check that validity. And sometimes it's writing here that comma using nested if else statement. Sometimes question like this with a statement, which type of a control statement you have to use, that is written also. Now here we have to input any 3-digit number. We have to check that. First we will start the writing hash include iostream.h, corner.h. You both the two line you will write it. I start from void main. Okay. Now here that we will need one variable for input holding, and I have taken because number related that and we have taken. If anybody will take a, that is also correct. If anybody will take x, that is also correct. So here I have taken n for the number. Check its validity, and in a validity situation we understood the concept previously that digit first and digit last we need. That means if we will write a b, that okay, no problem. But always remember that, my dear student, you have to assign the variable name also, class name also, and the program name also, variable name also, related to the concept for what purpose you are going to use. We are going to use here for digit and digit first and digit last. That's why we are writing df and dl. Okay. Now CLR, SCR. Here message you flash enter any 3-digit number. Sorry. After that seeing n. Now here we have to check the validity of that one. So n must be greater than is equal to the smallest value, that is 100, and n must be less than is equal to largest value, 999. Inside this we have to check that is 3-digit number. Now after that we have to check that is palindrome number or not. So here we will extract the digit df, that means digit first, n mod 10, digit last, that means n/100. Now we have to check that both, if the digit first is equal to digit last, then you print here cout n is palindrome number, else cout n is not palindrome number. Okay. Now this if we close here, and inside this else, what we will write the message? You can write here the message that number is not a 3-digit number. I write here that upside, that will be better. So now this portion that I write here. Okay. So separately, else cout not 3-digit number, not a 3-digit number. And here lastly get ch and close of this main. Okay, so program over. Understood? So this portion down one, that here, that these 3 or 4, this including bracket, that 4 lines you have to write. I hope so it's clear. That is very easy. That conceptually you see here, this we are checking for the palindrome in an easiest way, and that if else we are implementing inside this if. So that is if else nested form. Okay, so now we can go for that next question, next program, next example, that we understand question number 3. My dear, now that third question, third way of that understanding that with one example, that is, we understand that if any 2-digit number given by the user 2-digit number. Okay, and in that 2-digit number, like that n is equal to 25, that is given by the user. Inside this we need to check that is automorphic number or not. That means what we will check? Check automorphic number or not. What do you mean about that automorphic number? That we understand. Automorphic. So the number that, suppose that n is equal to 25. Okay. So when you are going to find out that square of the number, that means n is 25 and it's a square. It's a square. Its square value will be 625. That you see here, that n is 25, square is 625. That ends with that number. So here that you see, that means it ends with number. What one? Square. Square of the number ends with the number. In that situation, that number will be known as automorphic number. 1-digit automorphic number will be 36. So n is equal to 6 and the square will be that 36. Yes or no? So number ends, square of the number ends with the number. That means this is known as automorphic number. 6 is automorphic number. 25 is automorphic number because square of the 25 ends with the 25. In that way we can say also, sir, 5 is that one number and 5 square will be that 25. So it's also ending with that number. Yes or no? That means 5 is automorphic number. So this is of 1 digit. But in 2-digit situation, that is 25. 25, when you will just find the square of that number, that is ending with that number. So that is known as automorphic number of 2-digit. So like that you can use, sometimes question asking that 3-digit number, 2-digit number. But here we are going to check for 2-digit number. That we will check for that number's validity. That number must be of 2-digit number. Then we have to check that number, square of the number ends with the number. How can we find this one? So square, it's very easy to find. Square, it's very easy to find. So how can you find that square? That we understand. And how can we find that ends of that square is ending with that number? It's very easy, that we understand with one. Now I demonstrate here that how to find that square and how to find that ends of the square. Suppose this n is that given here, that 25. Okay, this one given. Now we are going to find out the square. Square means n into n. This n into n we are going to assign into square. So this SQ will get that n into n. That means 25 into 25. This will be get 600. This will get 625. Yes or no? Now we have to find out that this one ends with that number. Number is of 2-digit. That's why it will contain last 2-digit. So when any number you are dividing by that, suppose 2, 3, 4, 8, 5, 7, and you are going to divide this one with the 10, and you find that remainder will be 7, because dividing by 10, remainder you will get last digit, this one, single one. But when you will divide by 100 and you will get remainder you will get 2-digit. Yes or no? Remainder you will get of 2-digit 57. So that means when you are dividing by 100 and remainder you are finding in any number, that you will get last 2-digit. If you are going to divide by 1000, you will get the remainder of the last 3-digit. Yes or no? That means in this situation you can say that if any number that SQ, that 625, that when you are dividing this SQ with 100, you will get the remainder, that is remainder you will get the last 2-digit, 25. Yes or no? Any doubt? No. So when you will divide by 100 any number that is more than 2 digit, you will divide and you will get the last 2-digit. And that last 2-digit when you will extract, that you compare and you check with this number. Yes or no? That means it's clear by this example. What we will write here, that you see here SQ, when you will divide by 100, remainder you will get. Remainder we keep in R. Remainder, that means R. Rm you can write Rm remainder, and this will get, you will get 25. Then lastly you check these both are equal to each other. These both are equals to, yes or no? That means if both are equal, that means n is automorphic number. Now we understand with program, and I write you question also and program. Now the question is we have to input any 2-digit number and check it is automorphic number or not. Automorphic means what? That you can write that one. Automorphic means, in easiest way, square of number ends with number. A square of number ends with number. That means n 25 square 625, that is ends with number. So this is automorphic number. Okay, so this is automorphic number. Now we go for that program. So hash include iostream.h, conio.h, that you will write, that we start from void main. We need one variable n for holding the number, and it is automorphic number. For automorphic we need a square to find out, and we need remainder also, Rm, only this much. Okay, now CLR, SCR, Cout, message that enter any 2-digit number, Cin, and in these two statement, as I think everybody familiar, that we are going to find out that input any 2-digit number that we are getting input. And now here, that after this we have to check that validity of the number n greater than is equal to 10 for that 2-digit. What it means, smallest 2-digit number, n must be greater than that or equals to, and n must be less than is equal to largest value of 2-digit, that is 999. Sorry. Now here, after this it's clear that number is of 2-digit. Then we have to find out the square. So square of the number is n into n. Okay, and square must ends with that. Remainder we need Rm. Rm is equal to SQ mod 10 or 100. Now you check here that remainder equals to n. Yes. Then you print here Cout automorphic number. You can display in that way that n is automorphic number. Okay. In this else, what you will write? Cout n is not automorphic number. When you will close this if here, after that what you will write? Like the same. So you will write here that for this if, you will write here else, and what message you will give here? Not a 2-digit number. Directly not a 2-digit number. And then get ch, last one, and then close of this program. Over. I hope so it's very clear and it's very easy. If any doubt you can comment, and many questions are there that we can discuss, but in a video tutorial that maximum questions not possible to give. But time to time I will give you, if you have any doubt, you can ask, or I have given that type of conceptual questions that you can write and you can understand. Okay, thank you.